the morning ritual that restores male vitality after 60. Gentlemen, if you've woken up recently feeling diminished, your vitality slipping away, and your body no longer performing as it once did, what I'm about to share could transform everything. If your intimate function isn't what it used to be, if exhaustion has become your constant companion, or if you feel like a shadow of the man you once were, listen carefully. This isn't your fault, and it's not inevitable. The genuine issue isn't the number of years you've lived, it's that your body is being deprived of one essential element you should be providing it every single morning. Once you understand what that is and begin implementing it, everything, your energy levels, your physical strength, even your masculine confidence, can surge back in a matter of days. I'm Dr. Rena Shimizu, a men's health specialist and urologist with over 30 years dedicated to helping men past 50 restore their vitality through natural approaches. I've witnessed men in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s reclaim the kind of vigor and stamina they believed had vanished forever, without relying on a single pharmaceutical, injection, or questionable stimulant. Most men accept that declining energy and intimate function represent normal aspects of aging. That's categorically false. Your body isn't shutting down operations, it's desperately waiting to be properly nourished again. There exists a powerful natural pairing, ingredients you'll find right in your own kitchen, that can revitalize your circulation, reignite testosterone synthesis, and make you feel genuinely alive once more. The remarkable part? You don't need to purchase anything expensive or exotic. You simply need to consume this specific combination every morning. Stay with me for the next several minutes because I'm about to reveal exactly what to consume, the biological mechanisms behind its effectiveness, and how countless men have reclaimed their strength and masculine energy through one straightforward morning practice. Before we proceed, if you haven't already, please subscribe and activate the notification bell so you never miss another men's health insight designed specifically for your needs. If you find this information valuable, type the number 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and share how I can improve the next presentation for you. Now, let's begin. Now that you grasp why this morning practice holds such significance, let's explore deeper. Let's examine what genuinely occurs within your physiology after 60, why your strength, vitality, and self-assurance begin fading, and how the proper morning nutrition can reverse everything. When I meet with men in their 60s or 70s, I frequently observe the same expression, a quiet frustration mingled with resignation. They share with me, "Doctor, I no longer recognize myself." They still possess the desire, the affection, and the passion, but their physical bodies simply refuse to cooperate. The vitality that once defined their masculinity appears to have dimmed, and acknowledging this reality causes more pain than they wish to admit. I comprehend that sensation profoundly. I've consulted with thousands of men who believed their peak years had passed. They rise each morning slower, weaker, somehow less vital. The muscles they once took pride in have softened. Their cardiovascular system operates more sluggishly. Even their energy to take a morning stroll or engage with their grandchildren begins evaporating. And during those private moments when nobody's watching, they question whether this simply represents what happens as you age. But here's the reality most men never discover. This deterioration isn't merely aging, it's your body signaling that something critical is absent. Your vascular system loses elasticity, your testosterone levels plummet, your cellular energy production becomes inefficient. It's not because you're fundamentally broken, it's because your body is starving for the correct type of nourishment. The contemporary diet, overloaded with refined sugars, processed oils, and excessive caffeine, actually depletes your natural vitality instead of replenishing it. After you pass 60, every morning carries significance. Each sunrise represents another opportunity for your body to heal, repair, and strengthen. Yet most men begin their day with coffee and processed carbohydrates, never recognizing they're bypassing the precise fuel their bodies desperately require. I communicate this to my patients constantly. Your body resembles a vehicle that's been operating for decades. It doesn't need a replacement engine, it needs the appropriate fuel to continue running smoothly. And the encouraging reality is your body can recover faster than you imagine. I've seen men who felt exhausted and powerless reclaim their drive within just several weeks. Their posture improves, their energy returns, and that vitality, that unmistakable confidence, slowly reappears in their demeanor. All because they transformed how they began their mornings. You see, there exists a natural combination that ancient civilizations relied on for centuries to remain strong, energetic, and virile well into advanced age. It's not a pill, it's not a supplement, and it's not expensive. It's something you can locate in your own kitchen right away. Once you start your day with it, you'll understand why men in their 70s can still experience the vitality of someone decades younger. Let me reveal exactly what that morning secret is and how it can completely transform your aging experience. The ancient morning pairing, turmeric and honey. I vividly recall the first occasion I shared this straightforward secret with one of my patients, a gentleman named Robert, 71 years old, who sat in my consultation room with his head lowered. He confided, "Doctor, I've attempted everything, pharmaceuticals, tonics, even those energy beverages. Nothing produces results anymore." His voice carried the burden of frustration that countless men experience when their bodies cease cooperating. I regarded him directly and stated, "Robert, you don't require another pill. What you need already exists in your kitchen." He offered me a skeptical smile, the kind that communicates, "Come on, doctor, it cannot be that simple." But it absolutely is. The combination I introduced him to was something ancient, something our predecessors understood long before modern medicine existed: turmeric and honey. Two ingredients so commonplace that most individuals overlook their potency, yet when utilized together, they create something genuinely remarkable. Turmeric, the golden spice, represents nature's healer. It purifies your bloodstream, diminishes inflammation, and fortifies your cardiovascular system and blood vessels. Honey, pure and unprocessed, represents nature's energy source. It nourishes your body with the minerals and natural compounds essential to boost testosterone, stabilize blood sugar, and sustain vitality throughout the entire day. When you merge these two, something almost extraordinary occurs. The turmeric opens your vascular pathways, clearing the route for enhanced circulation, while the honey fuels your system with steady energy and hormonal support. I've seen men who couldn't ascend a staircase without feeling depleted suddenly rediscover their stamina after merely a couple of weeks following this routine. And yes, the effects extend far beyond energy. You'll notice it in your emotional state, your mental focus, and even in your most intimate moments. Robert adhered to the protocol I provided him: 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder combined with 2 tablespoons of raw honey every morning before breakfast. 2 weeks subsequently, he contacted me, and I could detect the joy in his voice before he even spoke. "Doctor, I feel alive again. My wife cannot believe the transformation." That's the power of what nature provides when we learn to use it correctly. What's most incredible is the accessibility. You don't require expensive treatments. You don't need imported herbs. You simply need to reach into your pantry and commit to doing this every morning. It's not the complexity that delivers results, it's consistency. But here's the component most men never learn about: the scientific evidence explaining why this simple morning combination functions so effectively within the male physiology. In the next section, I'll demonstrate exactly how turmeric and honey repair, awaken, and rebuild your masculine strength from within. The science behind turmeric. When I explain turmeric to my patients, I often instruct them to conceptualize it as the quiet mechanic operating inside their bodies. You don't observe it, but it's repairing the damage that's been accumulating for decades. The scientific evidence behind this golden root is nothing short of extraordinary, yet its power resides in its simplicity. Turmeric's most active constituent is called curcumin, a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant so potent that researchers globally have invested decades investigating its effects on aging, circulation, and hormonal health. When you're young, your blood vessels are supple and flexible, permitting blood to flow easily to every region of your body. That's why erections, energy, and muscle recovery all occur naturally. But as you age, inflammation begins stiffening those vessels. Arterial plaque accumulates, blood flow weakens, and the body gradually starts losing its vitality. Curcumin functions like a master restoration specialist. It cleanses your blood vessels, reduces inflammation, and helps oxygen and nutrients flow freely once more. When blood circulates easily, your heart beats more powerfully, your brain thinks with greater clarity, and yes, your erections become firmer and last longer naturally. But turmeric doesn't stop there. It also protects your prostate, lowers harmful cholesterol, and supports your liver so your hormones remain balanced. I remember one patient, George, who told me, "Doctor, I didn't realize the extent of pain and stiffness I carried until it disappeared." He had been consuming turmeric with honey for 3 weeks, and he noticed not only improved energy, but also a sense of lightness he hadn't experienced in years. That's the nature of healing from within. It doesn't just improve one aspect of your body, it restores your entire system. What fascinates me most about turmeric is its intelligence. Unlike synthetic pharmaceuticals that force your body in one direction, turmeric listens. It adapts. If your blood pressure is elevated, it helps reduce it. If your blood sugar is unstable, it balances it. It doesn't overpower your system, it harmonizes it. That's why I always call it nature's equalizer. The truth is, your body was designed to heal itself. You simply have to provide it the appropriate tools. And turmeric, combined with the right partner, becomes the catalyst that reignites everything that makes you feel alive as a man. But turmeric alone isn't sufficient. It requires its perfect companion to unlock its full potential. Let's discuss that next, because this next ingredient is what fuels your body with the power every man over 60 desperately needs to reclaim. The power of raw honey. When I discuss honey, most men conceive of it as a simple sweetener, something you drizzle on toast or stir into tea. But the reality is, genuine raw honey is one of nature's most powerful medicines, especially for men over 60. I still remember one patient, Frank, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. He arrived at my clinic feeling drained, his energy depleted, his confidence evaporating. "Doc," he said, "I feel like I'm operating on empty." I smiled and told him, "Frank, your body doesn't require more caffeine or energy drinks. It needs fuel, the kind nature designed specifically for you." That's when I introduced him to raw honey. Honey is not merely sugar, it's a living, healing substance packed with minerals, enzymes, and nutrients your body can actually utilize. It contains boron and zinc, two minerals directly connected to testosterone production. As testosterone rises, so does energy, muscle strength, and sexual drive. I've witnessed men who were exhausted and unmotivated become active and confident again simply by adding raw honey to their mornings. It's like pouring premium fuel into a tired engine. It awakens everything. Honey also accomplishes something remarkable for your blood vessels. It naturally increases nitric oxide, a compound that helps them relax and expand. This is the identical principle behind many erectile dysfunction medications, except honey achieves it gently and naturally without adverse effects. When your blood flows freely, your body comes alive again, your heart beats stronger, your mind feels clearer, and your performance in the bedroom improves naturally. But here's the critical distinction. Most honey on grocery shelves isn't authentic. It's processed, overheated, and stripped of its nutrients. True raw honey has a rich aroma, a slightly tangy taste, and crystallizes over time. It's thick, golden, and full of life. When I instruct my patients to use only raw, unfiltered honey, I'm not being particular. I'm protecting the power of nature's medicine. Frank contacted me 3 weeks later. His voice was filled with energy. "Doc," he said, "I've started walking again. I sleep better, and my wife keeps questioning what I've been doing differently." That kind of joy never becomes old for me because it's proof that when you feed your body what it truly requires, it rewards you in ways that extend far beyond energy. But something even more powerful occurs when you combine honey with turmeric. Alone, each is remarkable. Together, they transform into a force that can restore strength, stamina, and vitality faster than you can imagine. Let's explore how this simple fusion becomes the ultimate formula for masculine energy and performance. The synergy, how they work together. The first time I observed what happens when turmeric and honey are combined, I couldn't believe how rapidly men's bodies began transforming. It wasn't magic, it was biology functioning perfectly, the way nature intended. I remember a patient named Walter, 70 years old, who told me, "Doctor, I've tried every supplement available, but nothing endures." I smiled and said, "That's because you've been attempting to force your body to perform instead of helping it remember how." Turmeric and honey together don't force anything. They awaken what's already inside you. Here's the beauty of it. Turmeric opens the pathway, and honey fuels the engine. Turmeric clears your arteries, relaxes your blood vessels, and lets oxygen-rich blood flow freely through your body, especially to the organs that depend on strong circulation. Honey steps in to nourish that system, providing the nutrients and minerals your body needs to produce testosterone and sustain energy. It's like one builds the road and the other sends the vehicle speeding down it. The result? A steady rise in stamina, mood, and masculine vitality. I've witnessed this combination transform lives. Men who once felt hopeless suddenly found their strength returning. Their morning energy increased, their focus sharpened, and their confidence, something many had lost years ago, began shining again. Their wives noticed first. One man in his late 60s told me, half laughing, half proud, "Doc, I think my wife is more surprised than I am." These are the quiet victories that matter most, the moments when a man feels whole again. The reason this combination works so effectively is that it targets both the cardiovascular system and the hormones, the two pillars of male vitality. Turmeric ensures your blood vessels stay clean and elastic, while honey supports your hormonal balance and mental energy. Together, they work in harmony, not just to restore your physical function, but to rebuild your confidence, drive, and passion for life. It isn't a quick fix, it's a gentle awakening of your natural strength. When men stay consistent with this morning ritual, the changes extend beyond the bedroom. They start sleeping better, walking taller, and smiling more. Their energy no longer crashes in the afternoon. They feel lighter, more alive, and even their mood stabilizes. It's a transformation that radiates from the inside out. And the best part? You don't have to wait months to notice the difference. Within weeks, you'll feel your body responding as if it's thanking you for finally giving it what it's been missing all these years. But knowing how they work together is just the beginning. Next, I'll show you exactly how to prepare this morning tonic the right way so you can feel the full power of nature's most potent duo working inside you every single day. How to prepare it. When I first began recommending this morning tonic to my patients, most couldn't believe how straightforward it was. They'd look at me and ask, "That's it, doctor? Just 2 ingredients?" And I would smile because yes, that's all it takes. Healing doesn't always arrive in a capsule or a prescription bottle. Sometimes it begins with what you already have sitting quietly in your kitchen. The key is knowing how to prepare it correctly so your body absorbs every drop of its power. Here's what I tell every man who visits my clinic. In the morning, before breakfast, take 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder and mix it with 2 tablespoons of pure raw honey. Not the processed kind you find in most grocery stores, but the kind that's thick, slightly tangy, and full of life. Stir them together in a small glass until they blend into a golden paste. You can consume it straight from the spoon or mix it into a cup of warm water, not hot because high heat destroys honey's natural enzymes. Then take a deep breath and let that first taste remind you that you're doing something powerful for your body today. If you're just starting, go slowly. Use half a teaspoon of turmeric for the first week. Let your body adapt, then move to the full dose. Some men like to take it twice daily, morning and evening, but I always recommend starting with the morning ritual first. Morning is when your body's testosterone is naturally at its highest, your cells are hungry for nutrients, and your metabolism is fully awake. That's when this combination works best. And here's something important I've learned over the years. Consistency matters more than quantity. Taking this once or twice and expecting miracles won't work, but take it every morning faithfully and you'll start to notice the shift. It might begin as more energy during the day, less stiffness in your joints, or simply a lighter, clearer feeling when you wake up. Then, slowly but surely, your confidence returns. You'll feel it in your body, in your mood, and even in your relationship. One of my patients, Henry, age 68, told me, "Doctor, I've never been a morning person, but now I actually look forward to it." That's the beauty of this habit. It doesn't just heal, it gives you a reason to feel excited about each new day. And once you experience that change, you'll understand why I say this tonic is just the beginning. Because when your body starts to wake up again, something even more powerful follows. The real-life transformations of men who stayed consistent and found their strength returning in ways they never imagined. Real-life transformations. Over the years, I've had the privilege of witnessing stories that stay with me forever. Stories of men who came to my clinic tired, discouraged, and quietly convinced that their best days were behind them. One of them was Michael, 66 years old, a former teacher who sat across from me and said, "Doctor, I'm not the man I used to be. I feel empty inside." His blood pressure was elevated, his energy was depleted, and his confidence was fading rapidly. I told him the same thing I've told hundreds of men before. Give your body what it needs every morning, and it will start to remember how to be strong again. Michael took that advice seriously. Every morning, he mixed turmeric with raw honey the way I showed him. 2 weeks later, I received an email from him. The subject line simply read, "It's working." He told me that he'd started waking up with energy, sleeping better, and feeling that spark return in ways he hadn't felt for years. His wife noticed before he did. She told him, "You're smiling again." And that, to me, is what true healing looks like. Not just physical change, but emotional renewal. Then there was Arthur, 73, a retired mechanic. When he first visited, he joked that he felt more like the cars he used to repair, old and out of tune. But after a month on the turmeric and honey routine, he came back grinning. "Doc, the engine's running again." His circulation improved, his stamina returned, and his marriage felt alive for the first time in years. These moments remind me why I do what I do, because when a man's vitality returns, so does his sense of purpose, his laughter, and his hope. I've heard countless stories like theirs, men who thought age had taken everything from them, only to discover that all they needed was the right habit. Some saw results in days, others in weeks, but all felt one thing in common: a powerful reconnection to themselves. It's not a miracle, it's the body healing the way it was designed to. And if you're listening now, wondering if it could work for you, let me assure you it can. Because behind every one of these transformations lies a simple truth: the human body, even after 60 or 70 years, still remembers how to thrive when you give it the chance. But to truly understand why this change lasts and how to keep your energy, your strength, and your manhood alive, you need to know what happens inside your body when this routine becomes part of your life. That's what we'll explore next. What happens inside your body? When you make this golden tonic part of your morning routine, something remarkable begins happening inside you. At first, you may not even notice it. You'll just feel a bit lighter, maybe more awake in the morning, a little more alive. But deep inside your body, real repair is taking place. I've seen it countless times in men of every age, from 60 to 80 and beyond. Their blood starts flowing freely again, their hormones begin rebalancing, and the years of sluggishness and fatigue slowly melt away. Here's what's truly happening. The turmeric begins cleaning your blood vessels like a natural plumber. It scrubs away tiny blockages that restrict the flow of oxygen-rich blood to your heart, brain, and, yes, even to the most private parts of your body. That's why so many men report stronger erections and more stamina. It's not coincidence, it's circulation. Meanwhile, honey feeds your cells with trace minerals like boron and zinc, essential for testosterone production. As testosterone rises, so does your energy, motivation, and emotional strength. It's a chain reaction that revitalizes every part of your being, from your muscles to your mind. Within 2 weeks, most men notice they wake up with more vitality. By the 3rd week, they feel mentally sharper. Their mood improves because better circulation means more oxygen to the brain. Even sleep gets deeper and more restorative, which fuels the next day's energy. The longer you stay consistent, the more your body remembers how to work in harmony again. This is why I always say, your body isn't broken, it's simply waiting for you to give it what it needs. I remember one patient, George, 71 years old, who came to me after months of sleepless nights and zero energy. "Doc, I'm exhausted. I feel half alive." I told him to trust the process. 3 weeks later, he walked into my clinic standing taller with a calm smile I hadn't seen before. "It's strange," he said, "but I feel like my body woke up after years of sleeping." That's what this combination does. It wakes you up from the inside out. But what makes this transformation even more powerful is how it affects more than just your body. It changes how you carry yourself, how you connect with your partner, and how you feel about life. Because when you feel strong and alive again, the world starts to look different. And that brings us to the most important part of all, the truth about aging, masculinity, and how you can keep this strength for life, no matter your age. I've spent over 3 decades treating men who've been taught to believe a dangerous myth, that aging automatically means losing strength, drive, and masculinity. I can't tell you how many times I've heard men sigh and say, "Well, doc, I guess that's just part of getting old." And every time I look them straight in the eye and tell them the truth, it's not. Aging doesn't make you weak, neglect does. What truly changes as we grow older isn't the body's ability to perform, it's how we care for it. When you start giving your body the right tools, the right nourishment, it rewards you in ways that are nothing short of extraordinary. I've seen men in their 70s and 80s regain not just physical power, but emotional confidence. The sparkle in their eyes returns, their posture straightens, and they begin to laugh again. Real, deep laughter that comes from knowing they still have it. That's what masculinity truly is. It's not about youth or muscle or chasing something lost. It's about vitality, presence, and the quiet strength that comes from feeling alive in your own skin. When a man feels that, everything in his life changes. His relationships, his mood, his sense of purpose, it all reignites. What most men don't realize is that their body is still capable of producing energy, testosterone, and strong blood flow well into old age. But the system slows when it's not properly fueled. That's why this simple morning habit, just turmeric and honey, isn't superstition or an old wives' tale. It's a natural way to reawaken the very chemistry that made you strong as a younger man. I've seen it happen again and again. Men who thought their days of desire and vitality were gone suddenly find themselves looking forward to life again, not just existing through it. And I'll tell you something else. When a man starts to feel strong again, it's not just his body that changes, it's his mindset. He stops accepting old age as a sentence and starts seeing it as a new chapter. He starts taking care of himself not out of fear, but out of pride. And that's where true masculinity lives, in the daily decision to show up for yourself, even when it would be easier to give up. But the real beauty of this transformation is that it's not only about you. When your vitality returns, your energy ripples out to everyone you love, your partner, your family, your entire world. And that's exactly what we'll explore next, how this simple change can reignite not only your health, but the warmth, intimacy, and connection in your closest relationships. Reigniting intimacy and connection. When a man regains his strength, something profound happens, not just in his body, but in his heart. I've seen it countless times in my patients. They come to me tired, frustrated, and disconnected, not only from their energy, but from their partners. One man, Robert, 69 years old, told me quietly, "Doc, my wife and I still love each other, but it feels like the fire went out years ago." He wasn't just talking about intimacy. He meant that deep, unspoken bond between two people who've shared a lifetime together. And I told him what I tell every man. That fire isn't gone, Robert. It's waiting for oxygen. Let's bring it back. As your vitality returns, your confidence naturally follows. You start looking at your partner differently, not with hesitation, but with desire and appreciation again. Your body begins to respond, and so does your heart. The energy you once thought belonged only to youth returns, but this time it's deeper. You're not chasing excitement, you're rediscovering connection. Many of my patients tell me that their relationships have grown stronger, not just physically, but emotionally. They talk more, laugh more, touch more. They remember what it feels like to be close again, not out of obligation, but out of genuine affection. This renewed connection can heal old wounds, bridge silent distances, and rekindle a sense of joy that may have faded over the years. One of my patients, Harold, 72, told me something that stayed with me. "Doc," he said, "it's not just that I can perform again, it's that my wife and I feel like we're back in our 30s, emotionally and physically. We're happy. That happiness, that sense of closeness, is one of the most powerful medicines there is. When two people feel seen and desired again, it adds years to their lives, not in the calendar sense, but in spirit. This is what true vitality gives you, not just a stronger body, but a stronger bond. It's the ability to share warmth, laughter, and love well into your golden years. And it all begins with one small decision every morning to care for yourself, to feed your body with life, and to let that energy flow back into every part of your world. But before we close, I want to leave you with something special, a simple truth that I've learned after decades of helping men rediscover their strength. It's not just about what you eat or how you move. It's about what you choose to believe about yourself. And that, my friend, is where your real transformation begins. If you followed me this far, then you already understand something that most men never do. That aging doesn't mean decline. It can mean renewal, strength, and a deeper connection with life than you've ever felt before. Over the years, I've watched hundreds of men walk into my office tired, discouraged, and quietly defeated. But I've also watched those same men walk back out, standing taller, smiling wider, and living with purpose again. And it all began with one simple decision: to take care of themselves every morning. Turmeric and honey might sound too simple to change your life, but sometimes the most powerful medicine doesn't come from a prescription, it comes from nature. When you mix that golden spice with raw honey, you're not just feeding your body, you're restoring your circulation, your hormones, and your sense of manhood. Day by day, your blood flows stronger, your heart beats steadier, and your energy rises. You wake up eager for the day, not dreading it. You look at your partner and feel that spark again, the one you thought was gone forever. I've seen it happen too many times to doubt it. It works. And it works because it helps your body do what it was designed to do: thrive. But this journey is about more than just physical health. It's about reclaiming the part of yourself that age tried to take away. The confident, passionate, powerful man who still lives inside you. Every morning spoonful of turmeric and honey is a reminder that you still have control, that you still matter, and that it's never too late to rebuild your strength. When you take that small step, you're not just fighting weakness, you're choosing vitality, intimacy, and joy. I want you to picture this: waking up one morning feeling light, energized, and proud of the man staring back at you in the mirror. Your blood pressure balanced, your heart calm, your energy steady. Your wife notices the difference, your friends see the glow, and inside you feel a quiet confidence you haven't felt in years. That's not a dream. It's your body coming back to life. So start tomorrow morning. Mix your turmeric and honey. Take a deep breath. And remember, you're not getting older. You're getting wiser, stronger, and more alive. Give your body the consistency it deserves, and it will give you back everything you thought you'd lost. This is not the end of your vitality. It's a new beginning, and it starts the moment you decide to honor yourself again.